Music was in the air in Buena Vista on Saturday at the Mountain Day Festival.
Candidate Ken Cuccinelli was in Rockbridge County Saturday. We'll tell you what he had to say.
The government shutdown has ended, but what now? Hello and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Olivia Hampton.
And I'm Athena's Howe.
Shenandoah National Park and the Blue Ridge Parkway have reopened since the government shutdown ended late last night. President Obama signed a bill to reopen the federal government through January 15th. CNN has the story.
Signs of the shutdown are coming down. This morning, barricades at monuments removed and grounds crews back at work. Last night on Capitol Hill, the deal passed easily out of the Senate, then through the House, largely with Democrat support, and was delivered to the White House just 9 minutes before the midnight deadline. The president praised Congress for finally reaching agreement.
We'll begin reopening our government immediately, and we can begin to lift this cloud of uncertainty and unease from our businesses and from the American people.
The deal keeps the government funded through January 15th, but a budget conference in Congress now has to come up with a broader budget deal by December 13th. It raises the debt ceiling through February 7th and adds a system of income verification for subsidies within President Obama's health care bill to prevent fraud. This is the only change to Obamacare. And as part of the signed deal, federal workers will receive back pay for the time they were furloughed. Many are now looking ahead to the new deadlines this deal has created for Congress.
We'll have a second chance between now and January to prove to the American people the Republican Party can govern and the Congress can address the problems that face us all.
CNN reports that there are backlogs at some federal agencies. It will take several days for workers to catch up on the paperwork after being furloughed for more than 2 weeks. Bad weather didn't stop thousands of tourists and residents from attending one of the biggest festivals of the year in Rockbridge County. As Frank Diaz reports, Mountain Day brings in fans of the arts, hiking, and local groups who want to reach out to those people.
Mountain Day is an annual celebration of the culture, traditions, history, and natural beauty of Buena Vista and the surrounding mountains. It focuses on informational displays, arts and crafts, live music, history exhibits, children's activities, and food. Pat Oliger, chairman of Celebrate Buena Vista, says that Mountain Day attracts people from outside Rockbridge County.
We advertise in Emerson, Nelson, and Charlottesville, within about an hour's radius of here, and we get people that come from all over.
Oliger says that she also advertises to hikers so they can network with hiking organizations.
We've got the Natural Bridge Appalachian Trail Club here, and they're based pretty much out of Lynchburg, but we let hikers know that they're here and that this event's going on.
Buena Vista's Department of Economic Development says they pay for part of the advertising and donate supplies needed. They added that the benefits they receive are tourism and business to Buena Vista stores. Olga says vendor fees, along with help from Buena Vista, pay for the event. She added that various vendors and organizations help send the message of Mountain Day.
Some use this as a fundraiser, some just simply as a means to get the word out about their mission and what it is they're doing. So these type of festivals are great exposure for them, and there again, it's all part of the community.
Stephanie Clark, Community Service Coordinator for Tap Into Hope's Fathers First, says Mountain Day is a great way to advertise the organization.
We want people to know what we have to offer. We've already spoken to 3 clients so that they know that the availability for the fathers to have a safe haven in the Rockbridge area in Buena Vista that is available on Magnolia Street, 1809.
Some people just really enjoy going to these things, and like Buchanan had one last weekend, I think, and I think some people follow the calendar and go wherever they are. But it's a nice thing.
Because of the bad weather conditions, fewer people attended Mountain Day this year than other years. But that didn't stop people from enjoying the day. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Frank Diaz.
This year, Mountain Day had visitors come from Michigan, New Mexico, and North Carolina.
Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli is thanking Rockbridge County Republicans for their support in his campaign for governor. Cuccinelli recently made one last trip to Rockbridge County before the November 5th election. He told county residents he wants to lower personal and business income taxes. A recent Christopher Newport University poll shows Cuccinelli running 7 percentage points behind his opponent, Democrat Terry McAuliffe. McAuliffe was in Buena Vista for the Labor Day campaign season kickoff. He also campaigned at the Washington Lee University Law School. A new fast food restaurant is coming to Lexington. Cookout hopes to join several other fast food restaurants on busy West Nelson Street. Reporter Corey Smith has the story.
One of Lexington's most popular restaurants is making room for a newcomer. Don Tequila's, known by most as Donnie T's, will move to a site not far from its current spot. Cookout, a fast food chain, will take its place on West Nelson Street. Don Tequila's part owner, Jose Garcia, doesn't think the move will hurt his business.
There's different food for us, and if it affects us, affect everybody because there's another restaurant.
City Council recently okayed a drive-through window for Cookout. That was the last hurdle to the chain's plan to open locally. The chain will help Don Tequila's build its new restaurant.
We keep the sign on the street, and the restaurant is supposed to be going to, it's a big toe, so you can see from the street.
Cookout is expected to compete with other chains along crowded West Nelson. They include Arby's, KFC, Wendy's, and the most recent, Sheetz. It could also challenge locally owned eateries, like Pure Eats on North Main Street. The workers there don't seem worried.
It's further out of town. A lot of our foot traffic are students who walk here, parents, people who are pretty much just walking downtown.
Cookout is a family-owned chain that has restaurants in 135 locations, including Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Richmond. Cookout consultant Rob Heavner says the company loves university towns such as Lexington and is looking to expand throughout Virginia. Potter says Cookout is sure to attract a lot of attention when it opens, but she doesn't expect that bump to last.
I feel like the community is going to back it, but I also feel like the community likes businesses like Pure Eats, like Southern Inn, like, the bistro, things like that.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Corey Smith.
Cookout representatives say that they wish to open the new restaurant in March or April.
Election day is only 2.5 weeks away, and no one has the majority in the polls. One reason, Democrat Terry McAuliffe and Republican Ken Cuccinelli each have high negatives. Another reason, Libertarian candidate Robert Sarvis. After speaking to a class at Washington and Lee, Sarvis sat down with our Janie Fugate.
Thank you. Sarvis is way behind in the polls, but neither Republican Ken Cuccinelli nor Democrat Terry McAuliffe has a majority at this point. So Sarvis could attract enough votes to become a spoiler for one of the others. He says Virginians are open to the Libertarian platform.
We're polling anywhere between 9 and 12%. I think it's a vindication of our campaign strategy, which is to get our message out to as many Virginians as possible. And the people are really elated to hear that they have a third option.
Washington and Lee politics professor Mark Rush says people's dissatisfaction with the parties and with the federal government shutdown has worked in Sarvis's favor.
And so I think you might see sort of a spillover effect into local elections where you could see an increase in just third-party voting or a decrease in voting, in turnout for either of the two parties simply because people are disappointed.
Janie, we've just seen that Sarvis's modest popularity was not enough to earn him a spot in the televised debate.
That's right, but Rush says he might still affect the election as we get closer to voting day on November 5th.
Whether or not he's going to win is another matter, but if he could come in second, that would radically change the dynamics of the election. And also cast whoever wins the governor's race in a peculiar light, because right now it looks for sure that whoever wins the race won't get a majority of the vote. They'll get a plurality.
Janie, what do you see as Sarvis's big selling point?
He really emphasized freedom and the rule of law, as he put it. But Rush says the problem is not that philosophy, but trying to implement it.
It's a good libertarian slogan. It boils the Libertarian Party down to one of its key, one or two of its key core premises, small government and liberty. But beyond that, again, it's just like with the Tea Party, it's hard to translate their stand for smaller government and so on and so forth into a coherent, say, platform for domestic policy making, a forum.
Did Sarvis talk specifically about any policies he wants to implement?
Libertarians are known to advocate the legalization of marijuana, and Sarvis is no exception.
I would like to focus on legalizing marijuana for the purpose of reducing the social pathologies that come from our prohibitionist mentality. All the errors of alcohol prohibition we're making with drug prohibition. The thing about my platform is that it takes the best ideas from both parties and just rejects the worst ideas from either. So there's actually a natural constituency in the legislature for a lot of my program.
But the great challenge is, frankly, third parties suffer because the campaign spending laws and the other rules of the electoral system are really biased against them. And so long as they are cast as spoilers who really can't win but can only cause one of the other parties to lose, they aren't going to get much support.
Well, Sarvis is certainly someone we will continue to watch as the election campaign unfolds. Thanks, Janie.
Thanks, Olivia.
Coming up, we'll tell you what kind of weather you can expect this weekend and fill you in on local bridge construction. Let's go.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up at bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks, more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
2 bridges over Interstate 64 will get some much-needed work soon. Inspectors with the Virginia Department of Transportation found small cracks in the steel supporting the bridges over the Maury River and Carrs Creek near Lexington. Those cracks will pose a threat to motorists down the road. So VDOT plans to award a contract to repair both bridges. The work is expected to be finished by summer 2016. Both bridges are nearly 40 years old.
Now Margaret is here to tell us about the weather this weekend. How's it looking, Margaret?
Unfortunately, Olivia, we're going to be expecting some colder temperatures this weekend. Let's take a look and see how our weather was today. Today we were a lot lower than the high set in 2008 of 84 degrees, but a lot above the record low of 30 degrees it set in 1970. Right now we're resting at about 67 degrees. If you're heading out tonight, you should definitely bring an umbrella as we can expect rain. Let's check out what the rest of Western Virginia experienced today. As you can see, Charlottesville was the only area today that had any sun. Lexington is resting at 67 degrees with a little bit of rain expected, as is Buena Vista. Down in Roanoke and Lynchburg, we're experiencing a little bit lower temperatures with 66 and 68 degrees. Let's check out our 5-day forecast and see what we can expect for the rest of this week. Unfortunately, temperatures are going to drop over the weekend, with highs only in the mid-60s and lows as low as the 30s on Sunday. Luckily, we'll be experiencing a little bit of sun as we head into the rest of next week. On Monday and Tuesday, we can expect highs in the mid-60s and lows in the upper 30s and 40s. Let's see what our radar is and what we can expect for the rest of this evening. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of a rain system moving towards Lexington tonight. Our chance of rain is roughly 50%, so definitely bring the umbrella if you're heading out later. Back to you, ladies.
All right. Coming up, find out where you can catch your local teams this weekend.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. Ooh. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Every book is an adventure waiting to come to life. Visit new worlds. Encounter new friends. And discover the power of reading. Go to read.gov to read A Princess of Mars, the first novel to feature John Carter. A new world awaits. Read.
It looks like most local teams will be playing their competitors on their turf this weekend. Bella Sparhawk has the details.
That's right, Olivia. Rockbridge County's football squad heads to William Byrd High School Friday. Perry McClure will play at Craig County on Friday as well. In college sports, Washington and Lee football hits the road for an important game against Randolph-Macon on Saturday. Southern Virginia also plays Saturday. They will host their homecoming game against Apprentice School. The ladies of Washington and Lee field hockey team play away tonight at 7. They will face off against Shenandoah University. That's all for local sports.
For merchants in downtown Lexington, the Parents' Weekends of both Washington and Lee and VMI Institute present increased opportunities for their businesses. Chris Williams, owner of Sweet Things, said that his sales soar during Parents' Weekend. He attributes the vast majority of his sales during the first 2 weekends of October to visitors from Parents' Weekend.
Parents' Weekend, WNL and VMI both, I would reckon that probably 75 to 80% of our business are students and their parents. The locals tend to stay away from downtown during those busy times, so primarily it's all students and parents.
Chris Williams, Director of Marketing at the Lexington Visitor Center, Patty Williams, says that Parents' Weekends are significant to the lifeline of downtown. She said that the Visitor Center will be working with local businesses to better prepare them to handle the high influx of college students and their families. That's all for our show tonight. Thanks for joining us and visit us on the web.
Have a great night.